Good afternoon, friends, followers and channel members. How are we all today? Not sure what that bus is doing. He's driving through the stairs. Never mind. Oh, we've got a good flight for you today. Should be a little bit exciting. The winds are blowing up in Copenhagen today, so a go-around diversion is also possible. So lots to look forward to. Flight time about 1 hour 30. We are currently in Krakow. Great looking airport from the Orbx team. So thanks to them for supporting the channel and providing this for us. We're on VATSIM as well as always, and yeah, really looking forward to this. This is not a real world flight, but that doesn't matter. Easyjet do fly from Krakow and of course to Copenhagen, but I'm not aware of them actually flying between the two cities. But never mind, that's the beauty of a simulator. So good afternoon, welcome Bruno, Mark, Richard Lutz on Facebook watching as well. We are streaming to Facebook and Twitch today. Schulte, good afternoon. Hope you're not working too hard. Gianluca, hello from Germany. Lando Lakes, good morning. Simon, hello. And Pixelade, Neil and Horatio, thank you so much for coming on board with us today. Marcus, good afternoon to you, and Interactive Studios here as well. Alex Goodfellow's in from Scotland. What's the weather like up there? Oh, hello. What a lovely pink aircraft. I think we're all no longer fans of Sim Update 5 thanks to that, are we? Barry, approaching to Copenhagen is always beautiful. It may not be beautiful today. And Hasfiz, good evening from Malaysia. And Horatio, you're in France. Hello, Greydog7 on Twitch as well. Right, we're going to start getting set up. So I kind of the weather is slowly getting a little bit better, so I make no apologies for delaying slightly. But we do need to get up and away, don't we? Let me just get rid of the stream starting soon text. And we'll get on board and start looking at getting some fuel loaded. Now, speaking of fuel, because of the weather that we've got, the operational flight plan, which I have just remembered I've not actually given to you guys, if you want that. So the operational flight plan is inbound in the YouTube chat room any second now, and I'll pin that pin that at the top. So there's the operational flight plan. I've had to limit the amount of passengers we've got today, so we've only got 164 passengers, which to be fair is actually quite a realistic amount, particularly at the moment given the COVID situation. So that's yeah, that's actually quite realistic. And the reason for that is because I wanted to take at least an extra ton of fuel for diversions, go-arounds, that kind of thing. I didn't want to be right at the limit, so sadly, no. If there was meant to be 100 and I think this aircraft's limited to 174 in the simulator, but we just couldn't take a full load. It wasn't happening. So the operational flight plan is there, and with space to spare an extra ton of fuel. So as we get on board, we can see that the aircraft is in a turnaround state. It's got a bit dark actually. Let me just pop some of the overhead lights on. Alex, Scotland's dull, dreary and raining. Yeah, well, you've actually got some of the tail end of the weather that's currently hitting Copenhagen that we're going to be flying into. So that's going to be all good fun. Right, from that operational flight plan then that you guys can see, as I say, I already know I want to load a ton of extra fuel thanks to the weather we've got. So we're going to pop for 7.7, I tell you what, let's call it 7.7 tons. 7.7 tons we're going to load. So let me just go to the fuel page and we'll get that on. There's that bus again. If that's a driver doing his driving test, I think he's failed. And there we go, refueling is underway. Of course, before we can start letting the passengers on board, we need to get that APU started. 1, 2, 3. Hey Dark Fury and Stephen Humphries, I hope you are both well. Thanks for stopping by. Chris in Greece, really good to see you as well. So refueling is underway, so happy with that. So how much extra fuel have we got on board then? We should have 1.2 tons extra in total, taking into account the contingency fuel. Right, so then let's have a look. As I say, the aircraft's in a turnaround state, so everything is pretty much where we want it to be. Just before I can obviously start letting passengers on board, I need that. I need the APU running. So let's have a look at the flight plan. It's already in. APU is now available. Let's get that APU bleed on, and then we can start boarding the passengers. 164 of them, I think it is. Hi Synth, hello my friend, hope you're well. And Michael Humphrey about to board with us as well. Dwyle, good afternoon. Right, so let's allow those passengers on board. Get the stairs here. Here they come. Also want to make sure that we've got some catering and luggage, of course. And I think if I just zip over to the wing view, we can see those starting to kick into action. There they are. Lee Scrivens, hello my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Dwyle, it is indeed gusty up in Copenhagen, so could be interesting this landing. Particularly with the new weights and logic in there, so I've still not perfected it. Although we had a good touchdown here in Krakow yesterday, so that was quite nice. Right, let me just start that boarding there. So the boarding is now taking place. We can see the gross weight of the aircraft is increasing. All the doors that need to be opened are open. Let's look at setting up the box then. So IRS 3 nav green, aircraft status, yep, LEAP engines software is installed. Valid Airac cycle is installed. Let's do the init request. Von McLean, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. The alternate then, well, how we debated over this for today. The alternate then is Hamburg, officially. Echo Delta Delta Hotel. There are a few other options. Easyjet Europe, 3-4 Alpha Mike. So Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, cost index of 8. Flight level 360, temperature of minus 56, and that tropo is closer to 41,000 feet, so let's just update that. There we go. The flight plan then, we are departing runway 25 here in Krakow on the Sural for Juliet. When it loads, there we go, let me just clear a scratch pad. Sural for Juliet, and then, well, according to the flight plan, we're looking at runway 30, runway 30, but there is all the potential to take runway 22 left. We're going to have to keep an eye on the winds as we get there. So at the moment, I'm going to plop for ILS runway 30, and that is the Tidvu 1 Delta. So it's going to be quite good, this flight. There's lots to keep tabs on as we fly. No veer, I don't want to fly over the airfield and back out, so let's insert that. That's a distance of 444 miles, and the flight plan gives us 458 miles. Well, that makes sense because I've just taken out that veer, so that's okay, that's good. On the RadNav page then, let's just have a quick look at the chart for our departure. We're going to pop in the Krakow VOR, which is Kilo Alpha Kilo. Just pop that in there. There we go. Onto the init B page. 0 fuel weight 66.7. Cross-reference and check that against the OFP. 0 fuel weight 6. That's not actually right, is it? Do you know, since they've played around with these weights and balance pages, they've never been quite correct, but we'll go with it for now because this actually comes from the aircraft itself, so we've got to go with that. Trip wind is a headwind of 66. Fuel planning says 5.9, and we're taking, what did I say we were taking? We're taking 6.7, aren't we? For planning purposes, let's go with 6.6. We'll have burnt some off with the APU as well, of course. So, fuel required for the alternate is going to be closer to 2 tons. Let's call that 1.9 tons. So with the extra fuel on board, that gives us an extra flight time of 6 minutes. Something's not adding up there, is it? I bet that's because of the zero fuel weight issue. Let me just double check. What's that payload? Payload 77056, zero fuel weight of 63,318. Yeah, that's all correct. Refueling is still underway. Right, I'll tell you what, let's just wait till refueling's done. And then I'm going to try and pull those figures up again. So it's nearly there anyway. Von, does passenger loading work with self-loading car? No, they're both totally independent. So just wait. Refueling's now completed, look. So let me just see if we can get that updated. So zero fuel weight 67.9. Zero fuel weight centre of gravity also changed. Takeoff weight, landing weight. See the landing weight? That's ridiculous. Yeah, these aren't correct. So, an extra 5 minutes of flying time. I'm not sure that's right either. We'll have to go with it, and I'll investigate that. I'll investigate that a little bit later on. But everything appears to have, well, should have been pulled in correctly, but something's not. Something's a little bit amiss there, which is frustrating. Nevertheless, I wouldn't want to land with 71.1 tons on board. In fact, our takeoff weight is ridiculously over. Our takeoff weight should be around 71 tons. So, where's it getting this weight from? No idea. I'm just going to double check that again. I do need to crack on today, but that's just a little disappointing that these weights don't appear to be transferring over. Yeah, because that's the correct zero fuel weight. That should have been our zero fuel weight, 63.3. But our init B page is giving us something down. I'll tell you what, we can amend that, can't we? Let's do that manually. So hang on a second. Let me just Let me just go back to that AOC. So the CFG should be 23.2. So let's go in and change that. So zero fuel weight should be 63.3. 63.3. Maybe this isn't to be trusted, letting the computer do it. And that should be 23.2. Let's try that. Ah, now that's better. Takeoff weight of 69.7. Yep, bob on, and a landing weight of 66.6. There we go. I'm still not overly convinced with this 11 minutes of extra flying time, but never mind. So, that's looking much better. So, onto the performance page. Transition altitude here is 6,500 feet. And thrust reduction acceleration is 178. In fact, that's bob on. I just need to pop the engine out acceleration there. My apologies if you are asking questions. I don't really get a chance to look at the chat too much during the aircraft setup, but we'll have plenty of time to chat during the flight. Regular viewers of the channel will be aware of that. And do we have any speed restrictions on takeoff? We do, although to be honest it's only 5 miles out. I don't think that's going to cause an issue, but I will pop that in. So the maximum speed restriction there is 230. We couldn't just fly flaps 1. Fly flaps 1, which is speed, characteristic speed, S speed, which is 208. Say, I don't think, it's only 5 miles out, so I don't think we're actually going to have to be too concerned about that. But there we go, that's now in. Performance page is all set up. Good. Right, so now that's done, let's do a departure brief. First things first, threat, the bus driver. So the weather here in Krakow is actually really nice, as you can see. Visibility is good. That's quite a high cloud layer, so that's not going to cause us any issues. If we come down here, we can see those winds, 230 at 12. No problems coming back onto this runway if we have a problem. Just need to have a little look at that gross weight, though. That gross weight concerns me ever so slightly, as it really shouldn't be that high. So again, the weight of the aircraft. See, maybe we should plump for what the aircraft were giving us, because this doesn't match up. Do you know what, guys? Just bear with me a sec. I'm doing a very quick calculation. So the weight of the aircraft should be. This is what the weight of the aircraft should be. And if you've got the operational flight plan in front of it, you'll be able to see this. So the weight of the aircraft should be the dry operating weight of the aircraft, so that's absolutely nothing on, which is 46262, plus our payload, which is 17056, plus our fuel, which is showing to be 7680. So our actual takeoff weight should be closer to 71 tons. Somehow we've got an extra 4.5 tons stowed away somewhere, which is rubbish. Oh, Land O'Lakes, good spot. Block fuel should be 7.6, not 6.6. Although, to be fair, that's not going to alter the weight of the aircraft, but it does explain the problem with the fuel and the time we've got. So that's fine. Thank you, Land O'Lakes, for spotting that. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where an extra 4.5 ton of weight has come in, but never mind. What I am going to do though is I am going to go with the aircraft, sadly. So there it is. That landing weight concerns me. That's an overweight landing problem. We shall run with it for now, and we're just going to pretend we've not seen that. If we were going to do things properly when we come into land in Copenhagen, then we'd get the packs off for landing, give the engines full performance, or get the APU started and let them power the packs. But we'll see. Right, okay, so back to this briefing. So we know the weather is okay here. Aircraft is A320NX FlyByWire, the experimental version, so no TCAS, no terrain, no weather radar. We also have a problem with the weight, it seems, so we're aware of that. No times to be aware of that's going to cause us significant issues on takeoff. Of course, we've already spoke about some of the weather in Copenhagen, and we'll discuss that more as we're in flight. Threats to be aware of, nothing really too much around here. To be fair, the minimum safe altitude on our departure is 6,900, which sounds like a lot, but that's because the terrain starts to raise and come up to the south of the field. But the way we are heading, as you can see from those grid bars, it's quite nice and absolutely fine. So let's just talk about how we're going to do the pushback and takeoff. We're going to push back from stand 12. We'll face north. We'll taxi via Zulu and holding point Alpha for departure runway 25. On takeoff then, straight out, we want to be above 3,000 feet at Krakow 599. That's where that speed restriction is that we've already spoken about. I don't expect that to be an issue, so we'll probably be able to push manage speed quite quickly and then clean the aircraft up after passing this this particular waypoint. I am now just going to check that that is all coded correctly in the flight plan. Yep, that's good. Let's get the constraints turned on. Okay, quick departure brief then for if anything happens in an emergency. Just checking, we haven't got, as far as I'm aware, we haven't got any air traffic control online, so if we do have a problem we'll make a call on Unicom while taxiing, stop the aircraft and run any ECAM drills as necessary. On departure, any problems or warnings before 100 knots, we'll consider stopping, but after 100 knots and then up to V1, we only stop for any uninhibited ECAM warnings, engine fire or failure, and that's with or without thrust lost, or if I think the aircraft is completely unsafe to fly. If that's the case, I'll call stop and we'll pop thrust to max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway. And I could also use manual braking if I don't think the auto brake is doing a good enough job. If we've had a fire warning, I'll need to steer the aircraft into the wind as well. Once we come to a stop, I'll stow the reversers, set the parking brakes, and just take a moment to see why we've stopped, see what the ECAM says or any fault lights. Once we've established the cause of that failure, then we can complete any ECAM tasks and we shall vacate the runway. Of course, if it was more serious and we'd had an engine fire warning, then we'd need to consider running the evacuation checklist. Failure after V1 though means we are committed to take off, so if it's an engine failure, we'll fly using a standard technique, 12.5 degrees pitch following SRS, and I'll use the rudder to counteract any yaw. Once the aircraft has got a nice positive rate of climb, we'll pop the landing gear up and then I can trim out the yaw, and then once we're trimmed we'll engage the autopilot. We'll pull the heading bug nice and early as it's a good standard non-engine out standard engine out procedure just here. So I want to pull the heading bug so we continue on a nice straight line. Once the engine has been secured and we're above single engine acceleration altitude, we'll push the level off, accelerate, retract flaps on schedule, and then a green dot we can go open climb and set maximum continuous thrust. Once we reach 2,300 feet, we make a right turn to the Kilo Alpha Kilo VOR, which is our holding point right over the airport, and we've got that turned on just there. Entry into the hold is 099 degrees, and the hold is right turns. Right, that's the departure briefing done. Any questions, anybody? I hope not. I think I've just heard the beeps from the cabin saying everybody is now on board.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
That's great, thank you.
Okay, let me lock those flat deck doors so we're all done. And I think we're about ready to run the before start checklist. A couple of things I want to check. That fuel 7.6 and balanced. Okay. I've already checked 3 nav green as well, haven't I? Yeah. Okay. Before start checklist. Cockpit preparation is completed. Signs are on an auto. It is 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 7660 kilograms and balanced. The FNGS is set. Altimeter is 1017.
Crew, please land doors and cross check.
So we're about to call our pushback tug. We'll make the call on Unicom as well, just in case there are any other aircraft around. And I'll get the rotating beacon light turned on. Set that to standby. Acupressure is in the green, and we'll call the tug in a moment. Before start checklist, below the line, windows and doors closed and armed. Beacon light is on. Mobile phone is off and parking brake is on.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Is this the bus that keeps decimating our aircraft and the airport stairs? Oh, actually it doesn't get us, just the stairs. Fair enough. So I'll come back into the chat, guys, and
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
yeah, so I'll come back and pay a bit more attention to the chat once we're airborne.
Standing by for pushback.
Okay, let's just make sure we are on Unicom 122.8. There we go. Krakow traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, pushing back, stand 12 facing north on Zulu.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
You will start in the sequence.
Okay, back we go, and we'll look to start engine 1 first, as always. No single engine taxi today, very, very short taxi to the runway, so we're going to have to make sure that the engines have been running for 3 minutes before that. I'm sure they will be. Engine mode select to start, and starting engine 1. So much easier being outside the aircraft to taxi. Not the pilot's responsibility, is it though? That's the responsibility of the ground crew. There goes engine number 1. Cardinal 22! Good afternoon, sir. Not seen you for a while. Hope you're well. Christian, nice to see you popping into the chat too. And Christian Salma as well.
Pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side.
Starting engine 2.
Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water...
Wilkshire 777, yeah, we should set the climb altitude. That's my my oversight while messing around with the aircraft weights. We would pick that up in the PEDS check though, so it wouldn't have been forgotten about. HD, good afternoon. Oh, you're going to enjoy watching the setup of this stream HD if you've only just arrived. We've got an extra Phantom 4.5 tons from somewhere.
Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with
Okay,
Easyjet.
pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, so we'll let him disappear. Right, so after start flows, engine mode selector to normal, APU bleed off, anti-ice not required, and just check we've got spoilers, rudder, flaps 1. and that CG is 23.5. So let's just go ahead and set that on the trim. Those gauges actually on the trim, I've been reliably informed, they are wrong. If you download the fly-by-wire checklist, they have a trim gauge on the bottom, but that is right. But to be fair, as long as you're in the green band, you should be safe with the takeoff logic that this aircraft has. Okay, so the after start checklist. Anti-ice is off. Ecam status is checked. Pitch trim is 23.9 and rudder trim check 0. Pushback is clear, everything's running. I'm going to do a flight control check whilst we're here. As I said, it's a very, very short taxi out. Full left, full right, neutral. Full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. Okay, again, just while I was sat here, I'm going to do my PEDS check because I probably won't have time to do too much whilst we're taxiing there. So, no change to performance. It's still going to be a toga takeoff. New QNH 1016. Engine out procedure is a standard engine out at 2,300 feet. It's a right-hand turn to the Krakow VOR and enter the hold just there. Departure matches what we have in the FMGC. Stop altitude 6,000 feet and set. HD, where the hell are we? This is a handcrafted airport as well, mate, can't you tell? It's beautiful. Okay. We'll ding that cabin nice and early as well, and we'll
Please prepare for takeoff.
tell any traffic around us that we're now taxiing out. Krakow traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, taxiing now via Zulu to holding point Alpha for runway 25. Oh, wrong one, although I don't need the wing lights on. Don't know why I put number 2 weather radar on. Not that either of them work. Okay, let's do our before start checklist. Flight controls have been checked. Departure briefing is confirmed. Flap setting config 1 is set. And FMA and takeoff data 142 blue, 147 magenta, climb nav blue, 1FD2 6000 blue, and toga transponder is set. Ecam memo takeoff no blue, electronic flyback is stowed. I think we're on our own at this airport. Actually, we did see an aircraft coming to land, didn't we? Don't know where he went. So, holding point runway 25. There we go. Just keep an eye on that approach path because I didn't hear any calls on Unicom about that aircraft coming into land, so it's always worth keeping an eye out. But that looks okay to me, and yeah, we'll make the call that we're.
Approx Kilo Tango traffic, Ryanair 62 Tango is at 452 established on the island code.
Okay, that was a Papa Kilo Tango traffic, so that's different traffic to us. That's okay. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike Krakow traffic, lining up now, runway 25 to depart on the Sudol 4 Juliet departure. So with that, we'll get the strobe lights on, and all the other lights on. I'm just quickly changing that to 2000. Should have done that at the start, my apologies. Before takeoff checklist below the line, cabin is secured for takeoff. Engine mode selector normal, TCAS TARA, and I'll get the packs off in a moment. So let's just hold that there while I line up. Packs off, anti-ice not required. Time on the engines is 6 minutes. We're good to go. Restart the chrono and take off. Chrono started, set 50% N1. Engines are stable, set takeoff thrust. Man Toga, SRS, runway. V1, rotate. Nav. Gears coming up. Lower that nose and climb. Thrust climb and climb. Just follow those flight directors a tad more. We'll get Autopilot 1 engaged and we'll get Pack 1 back on. That speed restriction's coming up. I said I didn't think it was going to come into play too much, but we set it anyway. So we've just set S speed, as you can see on the speed tape. No ATC around, let's carry on our climb. So we'll set flight level 200 for now. Standard pressure, 200 blue. See the flaps coming in.
2,500.
And aircraft pitching up to maintain that speed. Pack 2. And happy now as we're passing that restriction. Let's go to manage speed. Let that nose lower. We'll continue to accelerate away and then I'll clean the aircraft up. Flap 0. Ground spoilers disarmed. Happy now to ding the cabin. And we're just concentrating on making sure the aircraft's behaving, which it is. Just that extra weight. We'll talk a little bit more about that, I think. See if we can identify it. When we're in the cruise, we should have some time. passing flight level 80, and all looks good. Once we get above 10,000 feet, then we'll clear the radnav out. Looks like I can also take the seatbelt signs off.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That looks
please
pretty.
keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Obviously over in Poland the sun is a little bit lower than it is here in the UK, and with the cloud layer it looks a little bit dull today, doesn't it? Bernie, the OFP doesn't give you passenger numbers. You just have to work those out yourself from SimBrief. By default, it's the on SimBrief. The payload is the passenger numbers is the payload divided by 104 kilograms, if that's what it's set to. But 104 kilograms is the default. That counts for both passengers and their luggage. Flight level 360 is acceptable, so I'm going to set flight level 360 now. Flight level 360 blue, and clear that radnav page out. And yeah, I'm happy to release the passengers. Although we're approaching the cloud layer, I might just get the anti-ice on in a second. So we'll just pop that on. Let me get in this cloud layer, make sure there's no turbulence, and then we'll take the seatbelt signs, take those off. Land O'Lakes, welcome to the First Officers Club. Land O'Lakes, thank you so much for stopping by and for supporting the channel. Also been my PM as well at one point during the takeoff. I can't. Was it the? It was the fuel weight. I'd misentered, hadn't I? By a ton. So big thank you to you for that, and also for supporting the channel. Hope to see you on many more flights in the future. If you're not on our Discord as well, Land O'Lakes, please do get on there and make yourself known to us. You've joined a wonderful community. But really, really do appreciate that. So thank you. So now flight level 150. That cloud line must be getting higher. I thought we were about to empty it. Wayne, I wish we were only over by 58 kilograms. I wish. We're not. We're over about 4.5 tons. It's ridiculous. I think mostly, do I fly the 321? No, I'm only there's only the 320 I'm happy flying. But essentially they're the same. Few differences. Obviously the 321's a little bit heavier. Solar Phoenix, the light scriber. Hello, hope you're well. Are the passengers about to lose their beautiful view of the terrain down below? We are. HD, I knew you were going to say that. I know you prefer the 321, don't you? We'll break out this cloud and hopefully have some nice fluffy things to look at. I'll tell you what I didn't do, and I keep forgetting this is now implemented in the sim. I didn't clear the discontinuity. There it is. Just noticed that on the navigation display. That one you can't clear, and I see a few people asking me why can't I clear certain discontinuities, and the reason why is, see where it says manual there, because after here we would be expected to be vectored into the landing runway by air traffic control. Obviously if they're not online we'll have to do that ourselves. But yeah, you can't clear this one, but that's okay. You can make that work. Vito, good day to you, sir. Hope you're well. Yeah, I hear that a lot, that pilots prefer the 321. It's obviously slightly bulkier, isn't it? Would handle the weather that we're going to be flying in today much better than the 320. And God bless you if you're in an A318. Who, I think, is there only Air France flies them anymore? Neil G, this is default weather, that's right. Lawrence DK, yeah, you live in Denmark and it's been very windy today. Well, that's pretty much what we're going to be flying into. The flight was chosen for sort of that reason this morning when I was looking. I forgot who I was talking to yesterday on the stream, said we need to get back into Scandinavia, and today was the day. And just as I checked on the weather apps this morning, I saw a nice weather system moving in. I thought, oh, that could be interesting. Does it switch to a heading hold after discontinuity? It switches to heading mode, Jenny. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Ian, what is the maximum crosswind? The max crosswind is 38 knots. Of course, that is not for an auto land. HD can check this for me. Autoland, I'm sure, is it a 10 knot crosswind for Autoland? Which doesn't sound like very much. Clausen, yeah, gusting. Von, self-loading cargo passengers loading has got to be done by now. We're in the air, Von. I hope they have. Callum, the packs are the pressurization and the air conditioning system. Basically, it pressurizes the aircraft so that we can breathe above 10,000 feet, and obviously air conditioning keeps the air nice and clean and cool. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on the weather, Lawrence, as we fly today. Is it 20 knots the crosswind limit for the Autoland? Thanks, HD. Don't know where I got 10 from. This is always a question that catches people out. The maximum crosswind for a takeoff in the 320 Neo. I'm very specific about the 320 Neo, just there. Flight level 250. William, SimBrief is indeed free, yes. You need a Navigraph account, but you don't need a subscription there. Abed, good afternoon, Abed. Oh, thank you so much for your kind donation just there. That's really, really good of you. And yeah, how's it going? Nice at the moment. Very nice at the moment, but we're expecting a bumpy ride coming into Copenhagen. But thank you again, Abed. Yeah, it's very kind. I really do appreciate that. Once we've got up to cruise, I'll show you the charts as well on this. We've got the option of 2 runways to land on, runway 30 and runway 22 left. So we're going to keep an eye on the winds. Bernie, you say 38 knots, the max crosswind takeoff. Wayne, does the 320 simulate fuel dumping? Asking on behalf of Greta. Wayne, we're kind of getting the feeling she's not your favourite person. It's just a thought. Not sure why. I've still left those seatbelt signs on, haven't I? But I'm not seeing any turbulence in these clouds, so let's take those off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Well, looking at the Sigma chart as well, there were cumulonimbus clouds and things like that all en route today, so to be fair, these clouds aren't actually that surprising. So it's just a shame. That's what it does mean, is that we don't sadly have the beautiful views, but never mind. Wind limitation for takeoff in the 320neo is 35 knots, for those of you that were wondering about the answer to that question. Looks like we've come to the top of that now. What are we at? About 30,000 feet. Oh, HD with a follow-up question. Why is it 35 knots? In fact, correct me if I'm wrong on this, HD. Is the crosswind takeoff limitation for the non-320neos, is that still 38 knots? Or is that 35 also? I thought the neos were slightly less. Wayne, is it so the tail doesn't overtake the nose? Oh, we're just about to drop out of the icing zone, so we can get the anti-ice off in a moment. Speedbird Simulation, I love that name. You've been watching the videos for a long time now, and now you're managing to catch a live stream on a rare day off at work. Excellent. Nice, nice. I think once you find out where do you get the 320 NX and does it come with the deliveries? You get the 320 NX from the FlyByWire website. Sadly, it's not available on Xbox though. Oh, HD, you really tested me today. So, isn't that due to the Neo's engine performance? I'm not sure I can go into any more detail than that. I am indeed checking the Twitch chat. I just can't respond to every comment, I'm afraid. For a username, from a question from a person whose username I'm not going to read out. Owen, I would love to show you the weather radar. Sadly, it is currently in up. We have this nice little yellow in up sticker down there telling me it's not. Trig, yeah, we're on YouTube as well. We tend to be a bit more popular on YouTube. Oh, HD, do I get a gold star? Andrea, when to use the engine anti-ice then? That's the same as I think you've just been discussing with HD. Between plus 10 and minus 40. MadPilot01, I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you very much for asking. Hope you're well. Finally getting above those clouds. 3,000 feet to go. Oh, the overlay bar at the top. Let me see if I can sort that out for you. Hopefully that should now be working. Peter Daniel, hello. Do I use custom matching models in VPilot? I use custom liveries. But yeah, I do have model matching, which was explained beautifully by channel member Nick on our Discord server, for if anyone wants to check that out. Sadly, it's got a little bit more complicated since Sim Update number 5, in that, as we've seen on many live streams, the a lot of the liveries look pink. Cody, what do pilots tend to do in real life during the cruise other than monitor the systems and talk the whole time? Well, yeah. Usually above 10,000 feet, though, when it's not what's called a sterile cockpit. They can sit, they can chill. They can check en route weathers, make sure everything's as it should be. HD, no comment. Speedbird Simulations, you moved over to Twitch, you find it easier to watch. Yeah, well, we're on Twitch and Facebook as well, but yeah, the YouTube always seems to have been a little more popular. Think mostly, are we using the Easy Neo livery? We're actually using a really fancy custom channel livery. Look at that. The Easyjetsimpilot channel livery with HD smiling away. Thankfully, it's been a while since we've needed a ruler. There's a good chance we may not see much of the ground on this flight. Not far away. Now we've got about 1,000 feet to go. And then I'm going to see what the weather's doing. Oops, let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. I can unpin some of these charts from my Navigraph. So, just as I was saying, look how heavy we are. How slow this is climbing. Yeah, two different options just here. Tidvu 1 Delta for runway 30, and we'd take the Tidvu 1 Bravo for runway 22 left. Oh, HD, what you done? Have you just booted somebody? I'll have to sort that out. Willie, hello mate. Glad you're back. Temporarily. Finally getting up to our cruising altitude. There we go, Mach Alt Star. Oh, HD, he said the 777's a proper airliner. Oh, yeah, booted. Hey, Scott, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for coming on board. Hugh Simpson, hello. And Alt Cruise. We'll set the TCAS to below. Makes no blooming difference. Amex will check the fuel. We're probably going to burn a bit more, you know. We've got this phantom extra weight on board. I think Multi 5, I do read the Twitch chat, yes. All of those working fine. Hydraulics 3000 psi on all systems. Fuel used 1.8, coming up to 1.9 tons. Good, good, good. APU obviously is not on. It's a bit warm in the cabin. I'm getting warm. We can turn that down, can't we? Should start to reduce in a couple of minutes. There you go. It's cooler air is starting to be piped in now. Brake temperatures are fine. All systems are normal. Right, let's have a look at Amex. What we should have. HD, when he's back, you'll say sorry. Fair enough. Can he come back? I can't see what you've done. Amex, let's have a look. 25 minutes into the flight. 25 minutes, so I should see, well, we should see around 5.7 tons of fuel on board. What do we got? Oh, well, I'm not going to argue with that. Lawrence to Copenhagen 18, normally clear via the 2 Fox arrival for 22 left. Best get that chart to hand, hadn't we? I say it's because at the moment we've planned for runway 30, but we're going to keep an eye on those winds. Let's see what happens. To be fair, the do you mean the 1 Fox arrival for 22 left? It's Tidvu we're coming in via. You like the music? It's very French. It does sound a bit French, this, doesn't it? I'm not going to Paris. Well, this weather's rubbish, isn't it? Can't enjoy the views. Can't enjoy the views here. Let me just send off for some en route weathers. See what's happening down below. Set that off. I'm not bothered about Krakow anymore. So I'll pop Copenhagen in the top one. En route, of course, we can also pop in Echo Papa Whiskey Romeo. I forgot where that is, but I know it's en route. And what were some of our other alternates as well? Where's my flight plan gone? So I think Berlin was one of the alternates, wasn't it? We've got Hamburg. Well, let's have a look at Berlin. Hanover is quite close. Echo Delta Delta Victor. Hamburg's alright. Let's send that off. Lorries, yeah, the F1. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We already have that chart up. Marco, thank you for subscribing. I could just do with a fuel leak. I need to lose... I need to lose about 9 ton of fuel, I think. And I don't have 9 ton of fuel to lose. I need to lose some passengers. Definitely going to have to get in touch with FlyByWire after this, see what on earth is going on. I don't need to lose that much. I'm probably going to be about 3.5 tons overweight. So, we'll land with max auto thrust. Thrust reversers. APU on. APU bleed on. Wilkstrom, you're back! Oh, HD is so sorry. Do you know, I bet he's not. But thanks for being a good sport about it. What have we got? Oh, that's looking quite nice. 270 at 16. That's not as bad as it could be. I'm still plumping with that. Runways are still favouring runway 30. Dark Chuck the cheesecake. Oh, did you guys see the cheesecake I chucked in the? I took the picture of and sent you in the VIP room on Discord. Oh, that was big. I couldn't eat that in one night. Wilkstrom, you were also Airbus rated, so are you excused? Which family? Was it the 320 family or one of the heavier birds? HD, I did think about that. If I need to burn fuel, get down lower. We could go down to something like flight level 300, couldn't we? It's not going to make any difference to our flight time. Should we try it? Should we get down? Although it's not fuel I want to burn. That's the problem. I don't want to burn fuel. I need the fuel exactly where it is. It's the passenger weights I need to throw off. Because they're not right. So very annoying. Doesn't seem to be much I can do about that. Sadly.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and shouldn't be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means that you will not spill any of your drinks that you may have from the cabin crew as they begin to start making their way around the aircraft. Could you please ensure that the eyes are kept clear so the cabin crew can offer you their cabin service, which will begin shortly. A reminder that Easyjetsimpilot channel members are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
I think that was the most untruthful cabin announcement I've ever heard in the sim. Great weather, and we'll give you great views. Yeah, okay. What of? Mark, you think it's illegal to throw passengers off at 36,000? Even if we provide them with parachutes? Quick look ahead, see if we've got any ATC knocking about. Oh, right, I think we might do actually. I think we might have some ATC. Right, in that case, we might be able to... Is this going to give us some VATSIM ATIS information? Right, so I'm going to send that off. Just while I do that, I'm going to nip back to the cabin, grab myself a quick drink. I'll be back to talk through the ATIS, and then we're going to try and make a plan as to how we're going to get in. Back with you in a sec. I'm back with you guys. Hopefully the hairspray will not set off the smoke alarms. It's just like thick smoke anyway. It sets my chest off, I know that much. If the wife decides to spray any. Right, let's have a look, see what that aircraft, what that ATIS is doing. Let's have a quick check. Messages received. ATIS, here we go. Expect ILS approach. Visual approach on request. Arrival runway 22 left. So 22 left is in use. Okay. If you're able to follow standard instrument departure for additional contact, yeah, that's okay. Information, Juliet. Right, okay. Well, let's plan for 22 left then. So it's going to be ILS 22 left, and that is going to be the Tidvo 1 Fox arrival. Tidvo 1 Fox. They like their visuals approaches in Copenhagen. There we go. So we should be there in about 1 hour's time. I'm going to keep an eye on that ATIS because it may very well change. Dwyle, is the overhead banner still not playing ball? August will go over southern Sweden because Tidvo's down there. Yeah, that's right. That's where we're coming in from. Let me just bring you this up. There you go. So if I add that to the route instead, 22 left. That's the plan now. We'll get vectors or well, vectors and then the visual. If we're being realistic, we shouldn't fly the visual. But that's SOPs talking, isn't it? To be fair, the visual here, I wouldn't mind accepting. I was chatting with HD about this once. We were coming in to land on 22 left, which obviously runs from northeast to southwest. But I was coming in from the north of the field, the northwest. Coming in here, they gave us the visual to come in around and land. I declined and said I'll continue with the ILS. The reason being, obviously in the real world you can just turn your head and look. Well, in the simulator it's all the way over there and I haven't got a co-pilot to look out of that window and see what's happening down there. So I declined that and carried on with the visual. This way, however, we're going to be coming in the opposite way, so if we get the visual here, it would be a left-hand, left sort of traffic pattern, which means I could technically do a much better job. Dwyle, are we stationary? Oh, not sure what's happening there. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. I can now see the information it's giving you. Ground speed of 0, heading 330. Altitude's, well, I was going to say the altitude's alright, but it's always a little off, given the different readings that it gives. So the plan then for the arrival we are expecting would be obviously to be 5,000 feet at Venom. 5,000 feet at Venom, max speed of 250 knots. What's the track mileage then on the 1 Fox? Oh, it doesn't give it to us, that's not right. Although to be fair, they're going to be exactly the same, aren't they? Presumably. It's around 62 miles. So Venom is going to be a waypoint. I'm going to pop in here. $190 miles away. Willie having a moment. So we're at 366. Do you know what? I'm going to burn some I'm going to burn some fuel. Should we get down to flight level 600? I think I just need to check on... because I've no TCAS, I need to check that I'm not going to be in anybody's way. So let's have a quick look at that. Oh, there's no one around me. Okay, we're going to go down to flight level 300 just because I want to burn some fuel. So let's set flight level 300. Thrust idle, open descent, flight level 300 blue. Just want to try and reduce that landing weight a little bit. And just change the cruise altitude there. There it is. Enter destination data. I don't need to do that now. HD? No, I've not got your message. Hang on one sec. What was that? Oh, I did. Yeah, I did point out. Sadly, I wouldn't be able to talk. I wouldn't be able to do the visual if we were being completely realistic. So what are we going to do? We want to start our descent 25, 50, about 75 miles away from Venom then. And Mac Alt Star. Oh, HD, I didn't see that message regarding a north waypoint. Because what am I planning? 2 left now, aren't we? Could we get vector to Lamox then? If we get vector to Lamox, that would bring us in, wouldn't it? That would work. What we could do then, just to plan for that, could we sort of preempt this and go after Venom, just add Lamox in. There we go. So that's in there now, just in case. There's also a Dovey, as HD's just said. So that's what we've got in there. I have no idea what this is. That's another little simism. Back down to Alt Cruise. That discontinuity, could we now clear that out? It still says manual. I don't think we will be able to, no. I think that's just hard-coded in. But at least we have a plan with regards to how we're doing that. So we're going to start, the top of descent is 75 miles with that headwind. 75 miles away from Venom. That'll get us down. We want to be 5,000 feet then at Venom, as that is a mandatory constraint. 5,000 feet at Venom, max speed is 250 knots. That's absolutely fine. We'll of course be below that anyway. We'll be below 10,000 feet. From Venom then, I want to start slowing down to green dot. After that, Depends on what the control gives us, but we need to be prepared for sort of a shortcut. We could ask him to give us that direct to Lamox, which if we could, that would be good. What is there? 18 miles between Tidvu and Venom. Sorry, Venom and Lamox. 18 miles between the two. So I'm just planning that we've got plenty of time there to slow down. I'm going to be very interested to see what the VAP speed is going to be calculated at for how heavy we are. Okay, let's look at doing our arrival brief. We're probably around 20-25 minutes from coming in. So we're going to start our top of descent at 75 miles out from Venom. We are expecting the Tidvu 1 Fox arrival. From Venom then, ATC will vector us in. We're going to ask for an approach direct to Lamox. That will bring us in on the ILS. At Venom, 5,000 feet. I want to slow down to green dot. We've got 18 miles between Venom and the localizer where we're probably going to intercept it. That's plenty of time to slow down to green dot and get flaps 1 out. And we're going to hold 180 knots for as long as we can before intercepting and getting closer down. So we're going to hold 180 knots, flaps 1, flaps 2, 180 knots as well. I'm going to keep that speed up given the weather that we've got. And then flaps 2 obviously to meet the glide slope. After that we'll reduce the speed when we're about 6 miles out. Go manage speed, maintain that centre line, and we're expecting a crosswind from the right, so we need to be aware of that. Is the CF22 left waypoint further down? Let's have a quick check. HD? Yes! Yeah, there is. Oh! It's not CF, is it? CI22 left. We'll check the latest weather as well in a few minutes. Top Gun, good morning from Sacramento. Hope you're well. Do you think it'll let us pop that in, HD? Is it CI or CL? It's CL, isn't it? CL22 left. Lamox. Let's try it. Or is it CI? They're capitals, aren't they? CI22 left. Will it pop that in? Have I not put that in the right place? I wanted to put it in after Lamox. That's in the right place. Can I now clear the manual out? Because that was there anyway, wasn't it? Hang on, let me erase that. So, can I clear the manual? Because the CI2 to left's already there, or is it the fact that it has to be after, it has to be above the discontinuity? Okay. CI22L pop that in there and insert. Now let's try and clear the manual out. Now can we clear the discontinuity? There we go. Let's remove the duplicate waypoint. We've got 2 of those in there. Now can I clear that discontinuity out? Ah! Tidied. All done. Let's check what that looks like. So it should be showing a line from Venom to Lamox, shouldn't it? We may have to keep an eye on that because it might not do it. But as long as we're aware about it, what we can always do, we can go direct, can't we? We can go direct, so that's okay. I don't think the alternate airport is HD. Yeah, look, no alternate flight plan. It just restarts again from our current, where we're headed to, Babin, which is there. Said we wouldn't see the ground, didn't I? On the flight today.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Hello Nick T, hope you're well. Gaming Ben, I am very well. You haven't been in the chat for a while, as I'm live during your workday, but today you're reading patents, so providing some much needed distraction. Glad we can be of help. If you have enjoyed the flight so far then guys, then please do hit the like button on the stream. And if you are new, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on that notifications bell so we don't miss any future content. Just having a look, we should be there in a little over half an hour now, according to the flight computer anyway. We shall find out. I'm still going to be too heavy for landing. Excuse me. Rick, good day. Just stopping in to see how the upgraded 320 is doing. Systems wise, it's doing great. Weights and balance wise, not so much. Of course, flying lower now means I'm in that thick cloud layer. Need to keep an eye on that SAT as well. Might get an ice ping. Sazio, hello from South Africa. Yes, this is live weather and live time. Everything is live. Frequency for... oh! ATC's gone offline. Christian, I didn't start with too much fuel. We had exactly the right amount of fuel we needed. The fuel was absolutely spot on. The aircraft was apparently weighing 4.5 tons heavier than it should have been, and I have no idea why. I ran the figures, checked everything out, but the aircraft was apparently still heavier than it should have been. What I might do at the end of the stream, would be interesting, is to go into the weights and balance screen, remove all fuel, remove all payload, and see what the aircraft weighs. I know what it's meant to weigh. Let's also have a look at the missed approach then now. We've already talked about how we're going to get into the airport. 5,000 feet of Venom, then green dot. Flaps 1 as we approach the ILS intercept, and flaps 2 before the glide slope. Maintain 180 knots all the way down till about 6 miles DME, and then we'll slow. Keep that speed up due to the heavy winds. But what about the go around? HD, keep the crew on because they might make up all the dry operating weight. That's true, but I have actually no idea if that's computed or not. The go around then. Climb straight ahead, 5,000 feet, and then 1 mile from OXS. We make a... oh, sorry, it's 500 feet or 1 mile, whichever is later. Presumably it's going to be 1 mile OXS. A left turn to 187 degrees. Climbing to 3,000 feet and inform ATC, who are not online anymore, sadly. But very much want to brief that. Oh, ATD, 500 feet. 500 feet. Knew that. We even said, presumably it's going to be 1 mile, not 500 feet, because that's going to be very easy to reach. Between the two cloud layers now. Right, well, let's get the latest weather before we go down. I feel like I'm sat in a saloon in the Wild West somewhere. Oh, very nice music. Christian, I'm confused as well. If you weren't here right at the start of the stream, I recommend after we've finished and landed, go back and watch the setup to see if you guys, any of you guys, can see something that I've missed. So wind is still 27015. You know what, personally I think I'd still be bopping for the ILS 30. I think it's safer. What are they using in the real world? That would be my next question. Let's have a quick check. What's up with the thrust levers, HD? I want to know what you've seen. Right, flight radar 24. There's Copenhagen. Let's see who's doing what. Clear that out. Oh, currently 22 left is still in use. We'll leave it as is then. 22 left in use. Best go with it then, hadn't we? HD, the paint near the red button. What do you mean, how sort of like scraped off it is? Wear and tear, apparently. So wind is 270 at 15. Temperature is 14 degrees. QNH 1000. ILS frequency is 109.5. And elevation is 8. We're probably better at landing on runway 22 left anyway. It might take us a while to stop. I don't know which airframe Fly-by-Wire based their aircraft on, but it must be very heavy, old and worn out. Oh, that looks a bit prettier, doesn't it? Someone likes manual thrust, yeah. Right, oh, we need to get down. Having said that, I'm not too worried that we're a little late in descending. Look at that headwind. We're going to be fine, absolutely fine. Thrust idle, open descent, 5,000 blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed that we have just begun our final descent into our destination. If you could now assist the cabin crew by tidying up your tray table and handing them any litter as they come around, that would be most appreciated. For safety reasons, we ask now that you please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use. If you wish to become a Easyjetsimpilot channel member, please contact a member of your cab crew who will be happy to assist you. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed your flight.
Okay, so continuing with our approach then for runway 22 left. We're on the Tidvu 1 Fox arrival. Let's put that weather information into the performance page. QNH is 1000, temperature is 14, wind is 270 at 15, transition altitude is 5,000 feet, and the decision altitude, runway visual range is well above 550 meters, so it's going to be Cat 1 and 208. That's all set, and the VAP is 139. Do we have any info regarding taxi procedures? Taxi routines. We'll go through that in a moment. The crosswind component on preferential runway exceeds 15 knots. That's why they're still using 22 left then. Runway restrictions, that's okay. I'm looking for this rapid exit taxiway speed HD. Config 3. Oh, there's a plan. There's a plan. We could do config 3. Do you know, I don't think we've ever done one. Need to remember to push the button on the overhead. Does give us a better chance of getting in though, doesn't it? Is that speed restriction on the aerodrome chart HD? It's not not listed there. Let's have a quick look. Hotspots, taxi speed, vacated in rapid acceleration Bravo 4. Due to risk of taxiway excursions, be aware that the curved part of taxiway Bravo 4 is 15 knots in dry conditions. Okay, there we go. Down we go. Let's get the ice on. Okay, heading down into those clouds, and we'll just keep an eye on the descent profile. What I really do like seeing is when you're going through clouds in the simulator, sometimes you get battered by rain as well, which is really nice. Jedis thought, no, we picked that up before departure, it made no difference. Remember, it was the zero fuel weight that was wrong, so the fuel weight actually had no problems. HD, as there is no ATC online, I'm going to go with that. So, cross runway 30, and then it's on to Romeo, Whiskey 1, and W, and you want stand F1 to F5. I like F1, I think it's you pull straight onto it, don't you? Von McLean, that is a good spot as well, thank you. So we've got 10,000 feet to lose, and we've got 32 miles, so we're just on that, but I need to slow down, so let's just lose a few more feet, and we'll get down. Okay, it's starting to get a bit bumpy. Let's get that light to get the seatbelt signs on. So, approach checklist. Minimums are set. Engine mode selector to normal. Electronic flight bag is stowed.
If you could please return to your seat and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are traveling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So I'm going to set a V-speed of 1,000 feet per minute, roll this back to 250 knots. Goodness me, that's bright. Let's just turn that down so we can actually read the screens. Can't see the speed tape, it's that bright. There we go. Airspeed's bleeding off nicely. At 10,000 feet, we'll get the lights on as well. Not much to see outside, is there? Can go open descent now just to bleed off that extra few knots, but there we go, thrust idle, open descent. We're now at 250. I just didn't want to level off completely HD. I could have probably have pulled maybe 500 feet per minute, but we're where we need to be just now, so that's okay. Even the standby instrument's glowing, isn't it? Suddenly the entire flight deck's become radioactive. After leaving Venom, we've got plenty of time to slow down, and our platform altitude is 3,000 feet. William, we've not got an ice warning. We've actually got ice not detected. It started to warm up, you see. So that's probably why. Here comes the rain. Look, I said occasionally you do get that. And yeah, I find that really, really neat. I love that. Sadly, can't spend too long enjoying that view. Looks like we're gonna hit that constraint nicely anyway. We've got 14 miles to go, so that's going to be fine. I can in fact slow that descent rate right down. Unless we particularly want to burn fuel and travel along at 5,000 feet for a while, which isn't a bad idea. What's our landing weight? It's going to be around probably just under 72 tons. So overweight landing and flaps 3 HD. That doesn't sound like the best combination. Once we get to Venom, we'll make a call on Unicom as well, just letting the traffic in the vicinity know where we are. Yeah, we're going to get the APU on. The APU can do the bleed. Just remind me of that procedure, HD. APU running, is it pack 1 off, APU bleed on, and then pack 1 back on? We've only ever done an overweight landing once. Just if you could give us the step-by-step instructions again for that, I would appreciate it. Oh, Lawrence, you pressed Alt F4 accidentally while trying to use the wing views. How annoying. APU on. Get that started. Pack 1 off. Bleed on. Pack on. Hey, I got it right. And we'll stick with flaps full. There we are, we're at 5,000 feet. 5 miles from Venom. And we can't see a thing. Just in case the weather isn't simulated perfectly and we have a problem, with a 15 knot crosswind we could do an auto land. Aircraft is capable and the runway is Cat 2A approved.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing.
Slowing down now to green dot.
Rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you.
And platform altitude as well of 3,000 feet. Thrust idle open descent, 3,000 blue. Copenhagen traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, leaving Venom for ILS approach, runway 22 left. Oh, we're not allowed to do that, are we? Dah, forgot about that. Good job you're here, HD. Slow down that descent rate a little bit. 1,000 feet per minute is fine. Let's start. How far out are we? We're 15 miles out. That's okay. And we'll go flaps 1 very soon. We got an updated QNH. Thank you, Christian. What is that now? 999 hectopascals. Okay, flaps 1. We're right on the... we're very close to the limitation speed there though, aren't we? What are we? 230 at the minute. So we're literally borderline alt star. So, flaps 1. It's not going to slow down anymore because of how heavy we are. .142 the VAP speed. APU's on, burning a bit more fuel. $72 tons. Don't think we'd have been accepting the visual, do you? I know what we haven't done. Just got a quick moment to do that. Oscar X-ray Sierra is not in database. Brilliant. Oh, hang on, it's the ILS. It's not a VOR. That's fine. Okay, let's drop our airspeed down to 180 knots and we'll start getting ready to pull flaps 2. Oh, I can see the sea. Flaps 2, speed checked. Flaps 2. Yeah, HD, I'm just looking at that. Glide slope is right at the entry point, isn't it? Can't go any lower than 3,000 feet, though. Not the best entry angle, to be fair, is it? This is probably why they like giving the visual. We've got glide slope lock blue. Are we going to be capturing this from above? If so, we'll get the landing gear thrown out. Help us get that down. Lock star. Already ahead of you, HD. Approach is armed. There's a delay in the chat though, isn't there? Nine miles to run. Copenhagen traffic Alpine 34 Alpha Mike establishing now runway 22 left, 9 miles. Glide slope, start, missed approach, set. I think we should be visual once we start going down the glide slope. Cloud base seems to be sorting itself out. Look at that wind. Hope that drops off a little bit. Localizer captured, radio altimeter alive. Oh, I don't like this. I can't see. Winds are strong. I'm too heavy. Who decided Copenhagen was a good idea? 6 miles. Landing gear. Manage speed. Let's get the lights on. Let's get the anti-ice off. I want the engine to have as much performance as it can.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
And flaps 3 landing. Do you know what we've not done? There. 5 miles, let's go. Flaps 3. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude 4,000. Set. Eco memo. Landing. No blue. Were we not doing flaps 3? Right. Hang on then. We're going flaps full. Let's get rid of that. Double check, we've now got flaps full in the perf page. 3.5 miles to go. $1,000 feet, runway in sight. Autopilot off. I have control. There's a rain cloud hovering right over the runway as well. That wind is slowly dropping off. So let's crab our way down that centre line. 500 feet. Approach still stable.
400.
Bringing it back on that centre line as the wind drops off.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And spoilers not showing. Max reverse. And I'm using manual braking as well to make sure we stop. I have to check those brake temperatures. 70 knots, reverse is off. And we didn't roll off the end of the runway. Fantastic. We'll vacate, get out of the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking
15
area.
knots for the turn angle.
On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Okay, we've been given taxi instructions where HD would like us to park. We're of course going to oblige. HD, that was boring. And we know that that's a compliment because that's exactly what you like. Nice to have a little rain shower as well when we came in. We saw that just hovering over the threshold of the runway. Oh, if you did enjoy that, guys, please do hit the like button on the stream before exiting. It makes a huge difference to the channel. I really do appreciate that. So we're going to cross runway 30 in a second. We know we've got traffic around because we've just heard them, so we will just make a call before doing that. Let's check I got all those lights off there. Whilst we're taxiing on the straight and narrow, we'll get the radios all turned off and set. And check those brake temperatures. Yeah, look at that, 170. So we can get those on. Actually, there's some cooling down time though, isn't there? They should be 5 minutes, but never mind. Oh! What was that? Something just drove straight through me. Awesome. Well, let's get to the gate. We're going to have to find some Christmas music, aren't we, for the, or Christmas sounding music for the streams when we get to December. That looks clear, so we'll just make a call. Copenhagen traffic, Alpine 35 Mike, vacated runway 22, crossing runway 3091 to taxi to Pakistan Foxtrot 1 via Romeo Whiskey 1 and Whiskey. JF89, thank you so much for your incredibly kind donation there. Hope you've had a great day, hope you've had a good flight with us, and really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for your donation there. So, slightly left now on to Romeo, which is just up here. And then the first right hand turn is Victor, the second one is Whiskey. This isn't one of the airports that was given an overhaul, was it? Which is a shame. Another aircraft touching down. So Foxtrot 1 is the is it a left? It's meant to be the left turn just there, isn't it? There it is. We've just not got complete taxi lines, so we'll take Foxtrot 2, which is coming up just here. Look. Sadly, no vehicles to meet us, but never mind. Oh, Norwegian. I love spotting those from the ground. Their bright red nose means you can easily see them. Even at 30,000+ feet up, you can still tell a Norwegian aircraft. And we're on. Parking brakes set. Just check APU's running and everything. Yeah, of course it is. And we can shut down engine 1, shut down engine 2, and get the seatbelt signs off. Vidar, thank you so much for your kind donation there, Vidar. And hope you've had a great flight with us. Really, really do appreciate that. So that is very, very kind of you. Vidar, is that Norwegian you? Excellent. Oh, it's not. You're undecided. Let's get that beacon light on. There we go. It seems like the weather has all passed as well. So rain's all stopped now. I don't know if I can get external power and catering vehicles. Are they going to spawn just here? Oh, they have done. Excellent. Which means I can also get a passenger door. There we go. We've got some ground vehicles around now. That's a little bit more realistic, isn't it? So that means then we can get the APU connected and turn that on. Passengers can come too. We can say thank you very much to all our passengers. Let's get that turned on to standby. Squawking 2000. We'll leave the aircraft in the state ready for our next flight crew to take it out on its journey. I will let them worry about the fact that the aircraft is currently 71.8 tons and we have fuel on board of 3960, but the passengers only weighed, according to the load sheet anyway, the passengers only weighed 17056. So that's where we've had a few issues with the weights on this flight. If you weren't here at the start, I'll quickly just go over that. See if I've missed anything, and then if I have, you can leave a comment once the stream has ended. But the dry operational weight of the aircraft is 46262. We've obviously got the fuel on board, which at the moment, as you can see, is 3960. That's just over 50 tons. And then we have got the weight of the passengers to add in, which is 17,056. All of those figures equal together is actually close to 67.3 tons. Which actually, when I created this operational flight plan, is the exact weight I planned on landing at. So, yeah, that worked. It's a shame the weights didn't. Never mind. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's flight. Really, really enjoyed that, and it's been enjoyable. I look forward to seeing all of you again very soon in the next stream. A big thank you to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep this afternoon. And as always, a huge thanks to the Easyjetsimpilot channel members for your continued support of the channel. Really, really do appreciate that so much. And to HD, of course, for, as always, his valuable knowledge and expertise on the Airbus aircraft. I'll see you all again very soon, guys, in the next stream. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button on the way out. It really does help the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Good night, everyone.